see you guys in the dark.
It was a regular Thursday night in my early college life. Basically, I sat back, got stoned, and I surfed the web to my delight. I had my laptop on my desk next to my lamp and my phone. Everything else was dark except for the glow on my computer screen. However, out of the corner of my eye, I see the light of my screen. Someone had just called me, and there was a voicemail. I figured I must have been too stoned to see it was ringing. I picked up the phone and affixed my puffy, bloodshot eyes on it. It was a number I didn't know, but the area code was from the same home state that I was in. So, since it's a pretty small state, I figured I would probably listen to it on the off chance that it was somebody that I might know. So I tapped through the menus on my phone. By now, my computer had gone to sleep, so the only thing shining on my face was the overpowering glow of the phone. I tapped play next to this mysterious number, and I plug in my headphones to take a good listen. Hi, I'm outside your house. The tone in this woman's voice was familiar. It was a middle aged woman, but I couldn't put a face to the tone. I later realized that I know multiple women with the same familiar tone of voice. At this point, I'm thinking, my parents' house sitter is locked outside of the house. When the voice resumed, her voice grew loud and emotional. I know where you live. My heart suddenly sank as I realized this wasn't the house sitter. At this point, my phone had gone dark, and I'm sitting there, stoned in the dark, as she says her last words. Answer my phone calls, or I'm going to kill your dog. So, of course, my mind begins to race with possibilities, and when my heart was beating out of my chest, I decided to turn on all the lights so I could decide what the hell was going on and what I was going to do. I'm fumbling my phone around in my hand like an idiot until finally I decide to call the number back. If anything, I can convince this person that I'm not the person that she's looking for and beg her not to kill my dog. The line rang empty quite a few times until finally she picked up. She just yelled at me, sorry, I got the wrong number. I meant some other area code, blah, blah, blah. Then immediately hung up on me. Of course, this didn't cut for me, so I tried to call my parents' house. No answer. After trying a few times, I realized that my parents had probably taken off the week to take their boat to the nearby lake. So I called my father's phone several times until finally he had picked up. I was square with him, as I always was, and I told him that I was stoned and about the disturbing message. He just told me that it was probably the wrong number, and it must have been some kind of response of someone who had been terribly wronged by another. And that was it. After a while, I felt a bit better off. But still, I felt like there was something that I had to do. The number was now etched into the back of a nearby notebook, and I searched it profusely throughout the online, and to no prevail. I considered talking to the police from the state it was from, but it was sure to come up useless. Honestly, if you listen to how her voice sounds in the message, I do not think that she killed the dog, but it's still a possibility. Okay, so this happened when I was like 9 or 10. One day, me and my mom had gone to the market. We were walking around, spending a lot of time in different stores, because you know how moms are. After looking around, we went to another store that was a little far from the other stores, but it was a lot bigger. Anyways, we went there, started looking around. So picture this. There's a mini supermarket, and then across the road in order to get to the big store. But you don't go to the opposite side of the big store. So you have to walk through this place that looks kind of scary and abandoned. The stores are all kind of next to each other. Then you walk through the scary abandoned looking place, past the mini supermarket, across the street. Then there's this big store. So me and my mom did that. Anyways, we got to the store. We started looking around. This is where things start to go downhill. I was goofing around alone like any 9 or 10-year-old would. Then I saw this guy. He looked really off. I immediately started feeling uneasy. Then I started going in and out of the store because I was bored, and every time I went out of the store, he was always staring directly at me. Then my mom told me that I should go call my uncle and tell him to come where we are. As soon as I had stepped outside of the store and started walking, the man immediately got up and started following me. Then I quickened my pace, only for me to look back and see that he was walking even faster. Then I started walking even faster while looking behind me. My heart was pounding in my chest. I was freaking scared. Then he started getting closer. When I saw this, I had booked it. I ran, and I mean I ran so fast until my lungs were burning. Then I went to the scary, abandoned looking place, then ran past a few stores. I started looking for my uncle's car, and I couldn't find it. I started panicking, thinking that my uncle had left. Eventually, I had saw his car, so I ran and got into his car as quickly as possible. Told him that my mom told me to go to where he was because she had a lot of shopping bags. After that, we went home. I never told this to anyone, and I can't imagine what that man would have done if he had caught up to me. This happened to me a few years ago. I had just turned 18, gotten my driver's license 2 months later. I'm from India, and you get your driver's license at 18 years old. I was really excited about this, and decided to drive to my best friend, who happened to move a few hours away from where they used to live. This took place in Mumbai, India. Mumbai is mostly a developed city, but there's a huge forest known as Array Forest. It's a protected land as it falls under a national park. This place is mostly known for being haunted, but I've never really been religious or believing in the paranormal stuff, so I didn't really think anything about it. After meeting my friend, I decided to bring them over to my house since even my parents wanted to see them. It was around 10 p.m., and it was getting pretty dark by now. While we were driving by the forest area, we saw a guy crying in agony as he held his leg tightly by a damaged motorcycle. We thought he might be hurt and stopped our car. We didn't step out, though. It was pretty much the best decision of our lives. Only after a few seconds, from both sides of the road, there were like 3 to 4 men who were running towards our car holding a koita. It's like a sickle, but it's used for cutting fish or meat. Without thinking too much about it, I just drove off. My heart was beating in my chest, and my friend was also very scared. Once out of the forest, I pulled over and just processed everything that had just happened. Once we got home, I told my parents everything that happened. My parents told me that there were a lot of murders that took place there, especially couples. Because I'm a guy and my friend is a girl, there was a possibility that they thought that we were a couple. Honestly, I've never been so scared in my life.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like, and hit the bell for notifications on future videos and become a stalker of the night. And I'll see you next time.